Maybe I'm amazed. Maybe I'm amazed. Right, due to the on internet, which is not the same. Guess what I've pulled up, right? I'm speechless, right? It's now like 2020, but yeah, it's 2020. But check this out, right? Yes, information from, you've got it, 24th of September 1983. That was Windows 1. It must have been Windows 1. 24th of September. Yes, 1983. Yes, because when it was uploaded, yes, that's what I'm saying. And was never Nexus in any way, shape, form, because that was the late 90s and the development of Keppel Street bus station. As we remember, it's all been knocked down. But let's start writing on paper and keep maps. Yes, exactly. Because the Eleusian, via certain other public bodies, well, then it's not the physical body. I can't believe my eyes. Right, because yes, they sold a whole load of data. Many organisations in 2011, like at a data auction, because they couldn't store it. And then, if you remember, all the cloud. Say why they're calling it cloud? Exactly, right. Right, it reads that, but the date it was uploaded, 24th of September 1983. And as we can see there, 2020, yes, well, it's not 2020. We've got ocular O. So an omelette and an omelette. And I've got 4 eggs, which are being cooked. And it's coming dinner time. So what? It doesn't mean I'm greedy. Right. Wow. Any more of such? Right. And it wasn't called Nexus either. Because we do have a little bit just surviving. Yes, of memory. Yeah, scary thing, right? And the full criminal responsibility for that is the invested shareholders by whatever fucking company name they're going as. Yeah, and when I was little in 1989, oh, and by the way, they've got an organic mind as part of organic brain matter. Now, what it was in 1989, it was about quarter past 6, approximating, which equals that, yes, it's like a hump in the road with a line underneath, which means it's way off, right? It's not accurate in any way, shape, form, right? Now, of that, right, mind the gap. Now, wow, I was amazed, right? Anyways, 1989, quarter past 6, there was a gathering outside the big listed building of, yes, not the Metropolitan one, no, the grandiose Central or Kentrel Station, Newcastle upon Tyne, was really upon the Tyne and the Tees and the television. Anyways, and what of the Weir and what the River Don and so many other names and descriptors, yes, of the liquidy stuff, right, with loads of salt and Thames, what you got is dirty river. Anyways, of that, 1989, yes, I was worried. I was so worried. Not to do with concernment, which is only connected to building structure, property. My physical cranium skull. Yes, with, as they say, organic brain, which I was aware of. Yes, around 10 and 11, reading books. The term of reference of organic brain matter, right? And no, nothing whatsoever of an organic mind inclusive. Right, you hear me? Now there was a gathering in 1989. It did not get any type of coverage via Tyne-Tees television or Look North. No, it didn't. Absolutely no. Now, anyway, I know the screens went off. I don't know. Right, anyways, off that. 1989, I decided, yes, private life. I loved taking train rides. So I thought I had to be back by 7 o'clock, right, at the age of 11, and school the next day, right, tight schedule. And I would go, right, all the way from Chichester, South Shields, to the Central Station, right, via the Metropolitan line. So, and I'd look at the graffiti or artwork, look and drop, right, and wonder how do they get such precarious, right? Yes, precarious heights and things as such. I sussed it out like years later that they didn't risk their lives, right? Yes, because like brush strokes, and yes, and moving to the left, right, from a starting point, brush strokes. Oh, that was terrestrial television. 1989, right? Now, pre that, I was worried because of an event that transpired at Chichester Metro. Yes, not Night Sky. Breaking it the freeway were. Anyways, I'm going to fifth for that because I've talked extensively about that because due to the 1990 event, yes, of a murder that transpired which wasn't known in the real time. It is now, yes, this has been going on for years. Anyways, it unearths a lot of memory, right? And in no way, shape, form has there been any projection planted fucker memory. No. Right, anyways, of that 1989, I was worried and had noticed you can fall through the fucking gap. Yes, worry, right? If we're worried, yes, that's an emotive. Not concernment for fucking building and structure and property. Oh, there's a lot of concern. What about the going concern? Aye? The going concern. Yes, to possibly acquire a condemned building, right? And then to be sold at public auction and possibly much cheapness, right? Because the word concern is from concernment, is only connected to building property structure. You know, where physical bodies are not property structure, and most definitely not like the bins property of, right? Many can empathize with that. No, it's like property of. Well, come and fucking take your fucking gear. Yes, your wastes and all things of such, right? And we are not for sale. Like the advertisement locally, and would read them, I'm for sale, and would kind of, I'm for sale, I'm not for sale, right? In the readability of it. So 1989, I went for a tutu train ride, right, with all the sights and delights of the view, looking out of the window, right? Yes, through the looking glass, right, which is perfectly clear and see through, right? But it was night sky, but all of the, not the city of tiny lights, but yes, you can gauge where more or less. So, and then, well, I would only be able to pop my head up, turn back around, and have to, yes, because the duration of travel to return to, and not return to or I blow up, right? Yes, the need for foundational mathematics, right, which is not confined by a disaster of the 50s, which there was a lot of deaths as well as financial crashes. Keep it thoughts, grown-ups using mechanism devices, machines, right, of which the state of art ripped through, right? And it was not only a financial disaster, there was also deaths. So then, yes, they called that, yes, Bank Zero, right? The banks at the time, because it's brick building as far as the monies and the financial kind of fiscals, right? Yes, I was not confined when I was age 8 attending Mortimer Juniors by Word, Zero, and Bank. This is big, right? Yes, and the banks are the time for, semantical twats. Yes, right. Anyways, no, we're totally needed. I've got so many examples of it. It's not confined by monies. And I heard the conceitedness, late 90s, really sharp staccato where we get sore booby whoops at the sides and both genders. Banks didn't keep what no, they didn't know it, right? Of many applications of modern day kind of terminology to any the nothing number, because for 45 years, innocent eyes. And it is global flat like ladybird flags of the world, upon the ground after the corona smoke ring landed. Now, please listen. 2 years ago, I realised what had happened Shit. And I thought, because all the products, I thought it was total pop ox soda. Yes, I might understand that, right? I thought it was only about, it slid for 15 years. No, a lot longer. Now, they used to teach it, because age 8 I asked grown-ups and I heard the same sentence. Well, they used to teach it, right, with bamboozlement, and it's okay not to get your head around it, especially with the template the teachers are there then would have had, just the financial situation, yes, of using calculators and mechanisms, yes, of accountancy in the FTSE 100 stock market, stocks and shares. Then through that, well, check your binary in your books. Oh dear, right? The problem being, right, if you don't know what a nothing number or right, yeah, we started with 1 and for 45 years, it hasn't been passed along. Straight, I've done my finding out. Now, if you care to, I've got many cares, if you care to, why not find out and watch and listen via YouTube of the universities. You know the PhDs? Yes. And what is being displayed on the whiteboard. Now, know this. Pucky languages, all sorts of squiggles at eyes is word. Yes, it's a global flat thing. Yes, there's over 2,500 word languages of words and sentences of the spoken. Now, numbers, well, they're separate. And when we were little, what was the first number we'd learn? Yes, as the finger goes out. Yes, that's correct. Which, oh dear, syntax error. Right. Now, of all the over 2,500 word languages, yes, that's words. Yes, that's alphabets of many, of over 2,500 of written, yes, reading, writing. Right. Now, also, when we're little in nurseries, yes, we started, what eyes, yes, what eyes, started recognizing numbers, numericals, figures, uh, yeah, numbers. There's quite a lot of different words to describe, and they would use various techniques, and like how many of whatever item, and then would use for fingers, fingers and thumbs and things. Now the problem was we didn't have foundational. Yes, and here's an example, right? Where me attended when I was a minor, well, I was still kind of barber, right? It was Marine Park Nursery, right? Some call it proprietary school, right? And I attended there, where, yes, we were learning were first kind of, what eyes, right? Looking at squiggles. It could have been Urdu, right? And all, yes, all alike. So, what is these things? Right, and by picture books would start to connect what eyes, yes, to the for apple, yes, because I was bamboozled. How did they get where to, yes, strange things in front of our eyes and squiggles, right? I was bamboozled mega years ago. How, right? Yes, but then I realised and connected it. It took a long time. I was like, squiggles at eyes. It could have been in any A to Z Mandarin, right? Japanese, right? Urdu, which is a nut, right? Yes, because all of us, yes, like Glaswegian and all the rest, right? Not, Urdu, right? Like a 1960s Urdu. And yes, another realising while they were wearing those ridiculous hairdryers, yes, those ones, like Marge Simpson hairstyle, that, well, the national language is Urdu, right? And the person sitting next to was like, oh, it's all there. Wow. Yes, because it moved, right, for work and other things. Yes, and, well, local area, they'd make reference to the Indian doctors or the darky doctors. Yes, general practitioners, local area, all ears up, right? But the Urdu hairdo, right? Yes, of the 60s. Yes, and getting the hit small talk while they're sitting underneath these ridiculous Marge Simpson hairstyle with fire, like toast, and new to the area. Yes, a female with her AK hobby, right? And small talk. Well, yes, exactly. And then the realization of the national, so like Bengali, Punjabi, and all the rest was slang, right? Yes, like Geordie, Markham, Glaswegian, right, of local dialects, McGinnon, right, Sandanserish, right, they were known as slang. So it was national English, national, yes, it was all pronounced national, right, national Urdu, right, if it's gone natural, there's, exactly, right, it was a hairdo, right, and yes, they were getting the hair done, and small talk, and, ice breaking, so, yes, trying to sift, well, if you don't ask questions, and then the English person of A to Zness, Urdu, right, well, what is that, and small talk, right, and the realisation of squiggles her eyes, I wouldn't be able to make head or tail of. Oh no, right? Yes, having to, which it's not easy. But anyways, right? Back to nursery. Not only were we learning at the Z, right? We moved, right, from the little alphabet to the big, right? From at to A, and in the middle, numbers, right? Anyways, of the numbers in number form. Yes, 1, 2, 3 and ABC. What about the rest? It was in 1999 when I lived in South Frederick Street. Why hasn't it been, well, I wouldn't use programmed, right? And I know how the mixed language comes through. I am not a robot. Why didn't, yes, and it can go by many descriptions. It's not confined by a disaster and z and zero. Zero is a blooming word, right? Exactly. Now, financial systems, right? Which is grown-up things. When I was age 8, I was realising how we couldn't be without enough a number. or n or n or g or n. Here's an example. A plate of food, right? Yes, and is it all gone? Yes. Show us a number. And then, yes, we've all got different handwriting, right? A very ocular O one, like from Once Upon a Time, with from like a 1 o'clock clock face down to 7 o'clock. Yes, that's right. Right. I want some monies, Mikey. Well, I'll just give you some. Where's it gone? Well, it's gone. Well, what's that? A number, right? Yes, if you had £3, it's 3, 2, 1, gone. Show me a number. And, right, so as you can get your head around it goes along like 45 years. Right, and the grown-ups are there then. Well, I used to teach it, which is no biggie, right? Because it's the way it's been passed through. Yes, I wasn't stuck in Brickface or the Banks of the Tyne, right? Right, weight. How heavy is it? And here's another one, right? You're reading dials of gauges and pressures. Yes, like we're almost like Chernobyl, right? When we're turning down the pressure of the gas thing on the boiler thingies. It's like, I don't want to blow it up. And it's because it superseded the red line. Many of us, right? Yeah, it's like, no, right? Breaking it and things. Many of us felt that's been discussed to the face. Now, gauges. If our eyes are saying, oh, what's going to be written on the clipboard? Right. Now, if you care to, right? Yes, if you go to, but I'm not jumping to, YouTube and type in, you will find the universities, right? The PhDs, right? And what's being displayed on the whiteboards. And it is not just A to Z, no, it's a global flat like ladybird flags. Yes, it is. So that let me know, right, they've never been shown what looks like. What the nothing looks like. The nothing for 45 years. This is seriously a big problem. I've been hollering, I've been letting of us know, but yes, other systems with an ongoing issue have just been hurting us over and over. Right, I do have the knowledge, right, of why we can't be without. Here's another example. As I was going to give the example, right, nursery. We're all there attending, right, and it's time for the end of the day, coming up to tea time, for tea time, 4 o'clock to 7. Right, so it's the end of the nursery day. Now, we're all going inclusive of the teachers and also the little, either hamsters or mice. Yes, let's say it was a weekend and they're not going to stay there all by themselves, right? So as we all leave a building, right, which will have a total number, let's say it was a square shape, right? Yes, it hasn't got 3D form. Yes, just a square. And we're all out of a building. We speak bye. We're being collected, right? Marine Park Nursery, right? When I was little. Well, way back, say 1982. Right, and yeah, about 1981, 1982. Well, the nothing number turned up through putting my arm up on a blackboard. It never turned up again. No, it didn't. All the sciences and maths, and it's really, I want it done, right? The most authoritarian figure being. Because, we started with nothing, we know nothing, what eyes can't recognise naught, right? Yes, and that's method. But we weren't equipped with a tool. The nothing in number form. So, yes, it's global flat, innocent eyes. For real. Now, so we've all left the building, right? So what would remain at the building, inclusive the little species? Nothing. So as an example, it's just a square and going from a 1 o'clock position all the way down, right, to like a 7 o'clock position. There is no peoples in the building, species whatsoever. Very important. Not monies whatsoever, because we're really it's foundational mathematics. And I've been through so much range of them, if you wouldn't want to know. So yes, and I haven't detracted off what the fuck I was talking about. Fuck, right? You. Anyways, 45 years I've done. I didn't go to France to do reading and church, right? Yes, écoutez voir. Yes, the voir, well, right? So it's a well of voir. Yeah, écoutez voir. Well, all the treacle, and it's the same the other way around. Yes, if the English is shish and the French is shish, but still A to Z. Seriously, it's 45 years. The PhDs, those exclusive universities, Asia, yes, all squiggles the eyes of all those languages. And yes, even China thing when younger, right? When I would have been at Mortimer, right? Yes, none equipped with the nothing number, right? None, right? So if you're doing all sorts of things, right? I gave the example about Smarties, right? Saturday job, all the whites on, as they say, here in the works. And I've been given a list for the stores, for the ingredients. Yes, they're doing a big batch of Smarties. So I'm going collecting the ingredients from a chitty thing, right, from the stores. And that's nothing. Right, anyways, what transpires? They get made, the batch, hatch, batch, dispatch, then there's complaints. After a whole load of purchases. They used to have, and it reads orange oil. So I thought I was going crackers like when they shrunk the blooming wagon wheels. No, right, anyways, off that. Then get called in the office after so many complaints and they get, yes, big boxes, right, of Nestle items, of Smarties, right? A million, what you call that, like, yes, because they're limited now to down who, what, why, how, when was on shift, right? Me, right? And me and the other, like the line supervisor thing. It was my sanity job, right? Anyways. And walking into, yes, like a room with 5 kind of scary faces, right? Oh dear, what have we done? Like, well, why didn't you put the orange oil in? Well, I thought it was nothing, zero. No, zero, nothing. Where are you getting that from? Well, all the buttons and all the things were pressed on the number pads. I thought it was nothing. It was orange oil, right? So all those batches go out. It's the sweetest I can put it because I've already been invited. Yes, Petre and Alchemy companies, right? Do you hear me? Seriously, right? So we get called in the office and we get given our cards, right? We do get a hold of it. I don't know why, right? Yes, exactly. Right, and keep. It was you in the orange oil. Now I hope you understand that. With seriousness, it's the sweetest I could put it. Really, because the orange ones are the only ones, the Smarties, which have a taste. You know, back in the day I even thought, don't believe the hype, right? Yes, well I didn't believe the hype about the blue Smarties, yeah, right, as it kicked in, yeah. But I was thinking it was going to have a blueberry taste. No, they were all the same. Yet again, shining out, right, was the orange. Now, do you understand about the letters of the alphabet? Ah, right, an O. And it's not confined by some financial saying after, you'll have to find out. Yes, there was deaths, right? Then they called it bank zero, but that's a word, right? And expecting, right? Yeah, computational equipment and all everything. For everything to hang on it, where was the head at, right? Yes, the 50s disaster, and then they went to social mind cleaning. Things you won't be aware of, but I took the time to nibs and find out, right? Now, anyways, of course we need the enough number. But as the kind of finger rises up, none were equipped with it, right? Have you eaten it all up? What's that in number? And then, yes, you can draw it. Yes, with the diagonal line going through. You might know what diagonal is. Me didn't age 7 or 8. It never appeared again. No. And pop products. Yes, and even temperature with of 6 light crystal displays. Scary. We need immediate implementation right at any age. Because yes, well, I've given the most sweetest example, and I'm not eating sweetheart lettuce today. The most sweetest example, which would not amount in death, poisonings, right? It goes through like what you didn't add in and an ingredient beginning with no, shit, which can, yes, put the something in the way, yes, of chemical reaction and things, and hatch, batch, dispatch with time delay, explosions, death everywhere of petrochemicals, yes, petrified, absolutely awful. 2 years ago, yes, and local, well, I wouldn't call them officials, yes, I'm just being subjected to so much, yes, I am, no, nothing have missed me, like, whatsoever, and whole load of companies on the screens of business, lies written about us. And not of the PX of that PX, right? Find out there is no organic mind as part of organic brain matter. Now, it's pronounced this way, dementia, right? Although dementia, of mentia, of mentis, which is of mind, all lies, yes. Anyway, 1983, so that would be Windows 1. Exactly. Yes, that's what it reads, 24th of September, 1983. When we can't even find 4 years ago, right? It's just fell off the edge of the earth. But there's a 1983 relic, yes, of the internet, right? It's not World Wide Web, no. Twice I found out what it was. Yes, and of the 3G, that was out in the 80s and long before in the 60s. Honolulu watches, yes, there were. You know, yes, this has been out before, right? Like Dolly Shoop things and get bamboozle of it. Yes, so I'll put the light on this. No, it really needs implementing, right? You kind of, right, it's in school and education, all being sent out with no tools. It's the most authoritarian figures are numbers on the planet. The global horse being the earth, straight serious. And so far, yes, 45 years, yes, it hasn't been taught. Trickle, trout, treachery, taught not. Right, they weren't given it themselves, and they hadn't got their head around it. Yes, because it was with devices powered by electricity. Yes, they hadn't gotten it to lots of descriptions. Yeah, it's gone. Give many descriptions, right? And before electricity, I can give examples of why we need the nothing number. Yes, the the g so many in words, right? Yes, and so many ways to get the head around it. Yes, the teaching template would have just been, yes, I would have been spaced staring out of the window, because I did asking around when I was age 8, and I got the same sentence like I did 2 years ago with it was a Lloyd's cashier, the same sentence in 1986, because I was asking the grown-ups, why, right? Why? Yes, and I heard the same. Well, they used to teach it. Don't know what it was about. Right? Exactly. There's so many ways to. It's foundational mathematics for real. It's yes, and pre, electricity and grown-ups computers, accountancy, right? Flashing lights. It needs implemented immediately. None of the sciences had it of my schools that I went to. Yeah, Heart and Comprehensive, the mathematics, they didn't have it on the blackboard. Neither did the sciences. Whitburn too, no sight of, right? And if we don't have sight of, we're not good. Eyes won't recognise. Now this is a global flat. It's global flat situation. It really is. I'm terrified now. This was 2 years ago, and I was breaking it. I'm going, not again, not again. Right? The kind of the bloomin' have, right? If you only have, there's not a button to press. Numbers are numbers. Let numbers be numbers. Yes, that was, what can I get out of an ATM beginning with O? So, straight, letter of the alphabet, once upon a time. I got omelette, orange juice, ocular, yes, I had to think. Ocular innocent eyes in jelly forms, right? Inclusive different species, because it has to begin with O. Yes, innocent eyes, like Delta Goodrum song, right? Yes, like the Halloween ones, right? Yes, I was talking it out. What can I get for O? And I got worth, right? French for egg, and I got a recruit, and it was mostly omelette. Yes, but I had to get the ocular innocent eyes jellies out. 45 years and eyes haven't had sight of, never, and it's not just Englishish. No, it's a global flat. All the ladybird flags of the world. None, please help. More egg. No, egg doesn't begin with. Omelette, right? I got omelette, orange juice. I got the eyes of jellies out. Not physically. You can only, yes, things beginning with O, with R. And yes, then I started thinking, what about smokes and that, right? What about alcoholic beverages? Yes. I got, yes, more orange juice. Then I was thinking cloves and lots of things, but yes, there was lots of omelette. And yes, more omelette. And I thought just omelette, orange, right? See, you can get your head around that, right? Yes, ocular, innocent eyes, jellies, inclusive of different species eyes. Yes, not just the kind of planet blacknesses. Yes, which is what iris is. So anyway, I'm going to stop this video. Yes, because it's scary, right? 2 years ago. Yes, I've been sharing, right? Yes, even on my Facebook wall, I don't know the names of that's ministerial persons, and not the physical head of, and it's needed immediately. If PhDs, right, which is the on university, right, are displaying on the whiteboard, that let me know they've not been equipped with the foundational tool, right? When you nothing, and they're endeavouring to let we know, and before, I'm age 42, right? Yes, that's a starting place. Nothing. We don't know now. And then eyes, 1, 2, 3, and all the songs, 1, 2, 3. He is missing something there. I know what I'm talking about. I have the knowledge, and I've already felt through because it's on collision course 2 years ago. And fuck off O2. Aye. Now, they're not going to be very much older, right? Ocular, 2003. Aye. Do you not remember a crash that transpired? And none were given information when it jumped? Yes, it was down for what? It was December, right? It displayed all the information. Now, the grown-ups' computers, how do you think they work when you're clocking in at work? They're powered by electricity. And the telegraph pole, that's the big word, telecommunications. So if displaying all the information because the system's down of a network of telephone provider, that's scary. That was 2 years ago. We got no explanation. It was the December of the 2018. And they were all like coat hangers hanging on it with all the squares of the apps. Now, if you go, yes, the big grown-up machines log in and you read, they're still waiting if you were due to collect them. So you can get your head around it. It was absolutely scary. Yes, that was the crack shown of the whole situation. Yes, and it's on collision course, and this was 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years. It was 2018, right? Straight. This plumbing, this it wasn't called Nexus. Yes, that was the late 90s because they changed the name of it. It has to do with the Metropolitan Mind, the Gav. Anyway, the Gavin, right, back to in the December, right, I popped my head up and I heard, yes, there was a Gavin with like pieces of wood with information on, right? Yes, it was night sky, and my approximation was about past 6, right? Wind to sky, due to 6:15. It got no coverage whatsoever on the terrestrial television or even newspapers. And I heard the mister say, "They've got no mind in head." And then I turned around and I thought to myself, which isn't words, it might be about what's been worrying me. They haven't even got a thought in their head to put in the mind the gap for public safety as customers, passengers, and they are criminally responsible for, and reference age of criminal responsibility from age 10, which is not superseded by Coin and Company if over 18. It is not diminished less than to end up their lies of many companies, a pegboard like Judge Rinder and Judge Judy of the share financial ones, yes, of which if it supersedes, right, of the expected range of coins, then it goes to us another one. But listen what I said, because we were disgusted, but weren't we? Reading has no responsibility. Well, he has news for you. Right, but look at that. Yes, that is the upload one. Yes, it is. Today's date's the 30th of October. Yeah, it's Halloween tomorrow, is it? I might have the date wrong. It's either the 30th. Hang on. Next, the November the 5th, 31st. Oh, what my life. It's next Friday, but there's no public display at South Shields. No Feast of Witness on. And I've already got news that, yes, others are having little get-togethers, like the miners and that. I used to have a turn-up. Turpentine.